Ogden Outlaws is an American soccer team based in Ogden, Utah, United States. Founded in 2006. The team plays in the USL Premier Development League, PDL, the fourth tier of the American soccer pyramid, in the Southwest Division of the Western Conference. The team plays its home games in the stadium at Bonneville High School in nearby Washington Terrace, Utah, where they have played since 2009. The team's colors are black and white. History: Ogden Outlaws entered the PDL in 2006, under the leadership of longtime Utah youth soccer coach Mike Hickman. To the surprise of many, Ogden made for a formidable on-field opponent almost immediately. Despite a 1-0 loss to BYU Cougars in their opening game, and a 4-1 loss to Abbotsford Rangers in the next, the Outlaws regrouped themselves and rattled off 3 wins on the trot. Their 3-0 victory over Tacoma F.C. led to an unexpected qualification for the U.S. Open Cup at the first attempt, although their campaign did not last long, losing 6-5 on penalties in the first round to a determined Sonoma County Sol from the NPSL. Ogden's impressive early season form petered out as the year progressed. A 4-0 win over Cascade Surge was their most comprehensive victory of the year, but that was to be their final hurrah. Thereafter, the team suffered a disappointing series of results, including 6 consecutive defeats, ending their playoff hopes fairly early. They eventually finished 13 points behind champions Abbotsford Rangers. Bruno Baca was the top scorer of a team that also included Turks and Caicos Islands international midfielder Dwayne Glinton. 2007 started difficultly for Ogden, picking up just 4 points from their first 4 games of the season, and missing out on a second U.S. Open Cup qualification. The month of June was better, highlighted by a pair of victories, 3-2 over Tacoma Tide. Goals scored by Bruno Baca, Matt Broadhead, and Sean Blymiller, and 2-0 over Abbotsford Rangers. Goals scored by Kellen Christensen and Sean Blymiller. But it was the Outlaws' form away from home which proved to be their downfall. The 6-2 loss away to BYU Cougars was their worst result of the season, and despite a comprehensive 6-1 thrashing of Cascade Surge on the final day, the Outlaws finished the year a distant 4th, a full 20 points behind divisional champions BYU. Kyle Christensen was the Outlaws' top scorer with 6 goals, while Matt Broadhead and Kellen Christensen tallied 3 assists each. 2008 was much of the same for Ogden, as poor away form hampered them in the progress up the Northwest Division standings. A 3-0 opening day victory over Spokane Shadow was a promising start, but the next 6 games yielded just one more victory, again over Spokane, and included a demoralizing 5-0 thrashing by Tacoma Tide. June was a tough month for the Outlaws, with a hard-fought 2-1 win over Yakima Reds their only high point. The season did conclude strongly, with 3 wins in their final 5 games, including a dominant 5-2 win over Abbotsford Rangers that proved to be their most comprehensive victory of the season. Ogden again finished in mid-table obscurity, 14 points out of the playoffs in 5th place. Kyle Christensen and Andy Cornier were the joint top scorers with 4 goals each, and Matt Broadhead topped the assists standings for the 2nd year in a row, with 4. Ogden realigned to the Southwest Division in 2009 following the PDL expansion in the Pacific Northwest, but found the going tough in amongst the teams of Southern California. They tied their first game of the season 1-1 with the Southern California Seahorses, but lost their next 3 on the trot, including a 4-0 hammering at the hands of Orange County Blue Star. They finally won their first game in early June, 1-0 over state rivals BYU Cougars. But despite their partnership with MLS side Real Salt Lake and an experienced coach in the shape of Ted Eck, suffered a miserable month thereafter, losing 5-0 to the Los Angeles Legends, allowing the Lancaster Rattlers to score a late winner in a 4-3 defeat, and being hit for 7 by eventual divisional champions Hollywood United Hitmen. Somewhat surprisingly, the Outlaws finished the season strongly, notching wins over Orange County Blue Star and Fresno Fuego, before pummeling bottom-of-the-table Bakersfield Brigade 6-0 on the final day of the season, with Joseph Hickman scoring a brace. Unfortunately, this was the lone high point of an otherwise dispiriting season for the men from Weber County, who finished 9th in the division. Sam Charles and Andy Cornier were the Outlaws' joint top scorers, with 4 goals each. Players. Current roster. As of June 10, 2011. Note: flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Notable former players. This list of notable former players comprises players who went on to play professional soccer after playing for the team in the Premier Development League, or those who previously played professionally before joining the team. Kyle Christensen, Michael Farfan, Dwayne Glinton, Clayton Zellen. Year by year. Head coaches: Mike Hickman, 2006 to 2008. Ted Eck, 2009. Rob Caras, 2010-present. Stadium at Ogden High School, Ogden, Utah, 2006 to 2008. Stadium at Bonneville High School, Washington Terrace, Utah, 2009-present. Average attendance. Attendance stats are calculated by averaging each team's self-reported home attendances from the historical match archive at http://www.uslsoccer.com. History index_e. HTML. 2006. 478. 2007. 412. 2008. 590. 2009. 208. 2010. 545. Official site. Official PDL site.